start with the opening statement from Big Schaefer, and then we will take questions for our student athletes, and when they're done, we'll dismiss them, and we'll have questions for Coach.
Well, it's a proud day. It's a great day to be a Bulldog, and it's a proud day for me and my staff and our program, our university, to be able to sit here today and host an NCAA championship. Speaks to our players here and the team that they represent, and to the hard work, commitment, and dedication that my staff, as well as the commitment from our administration that's gone into our program. So I'm very excited to show off our community, this great city that's been so supportive of what I call the people's team, and I'm just excited to be the head coach, proud to be the head coach here at Mississippi State and to have this opportunity today. I know that people of this community will do a great job in embracing the other three teams, their players and their staffs, and I think it should be a great weekend and a great experience for all the student athletes. Obviously, I'm proud of my team, what we've been able to accomplish this year, proud of our players. Again, their commitment, loyalty, dedication, hard work, things that go into this. It's a long, hard grind, and to be here today speaks volumes for who they are, their character, and what they're made of. So again, proud, very excited, and again, welcome to Starkville.
Okay, now we'll take questions for our student athletes. If you would raise your hands, since we've got a packed house. Do this a little more orderly.
Victoria, what have you seen about Chattanooga as far as matchups, and what stands out to you about that team that you've seen?
They got very good guard play, and they're very quick off the with the ball. They shoot high percentages, and their post player is very different from ours. Like she attacks the basket, and she can shoot threes.
JP.
Dominique, just talk about the Board of Aldermen recognized y'all with the proclamation the other night. Just what did that mean for you, and what did it mean for you and the team?
It was just a really proud moment for us, and just to be recognized by the mayor of Starkville, and just to see it, like, all of our hard work pay off from the beginning of the season to now.
Michael.
Dom, now you know the high of hosting is kind of settled now. How does this business trip, so to speak, feel different than maybe last year's?
Just, we have to defend our home court, and, you know, the mayor, he said it's Mississippi State Women's Basketball Weekend, and we want to make it a weekend. We don't want to just make it a day, so we want to win the weekend. So we just need to make winning important this weekend.
Adam.
Can you guys, I don't think I've ever heard Coach say people's team. I like that. What do you guys think of the following that you guys have built and that characterization that Coach used, calling you guys the people's team?
I think we relate well with the fans. You know, we go up after every game and we talk to all the fans. We sign autographs. We do whatever they want. So I think we just relate really well with them. And our fans are amazing. They're here every game, no matter the result. So we just a lot of respect for our fans.
Okay.
Victoria, obviously you had a pretty good SEC tournament and everything. What did something change for you, or did shots just start falling? I mean, is there any sort of renewed focus in the postseason or anything?
I guess shots just started falling. I'm still playing the same basketball, so I guess whatever happens happens.
Bob.
Dominique, I know coming off last year's tournament, what kind of lessons can you take from that? You know, the first time for you in the NCAA tournament that you sort of applied this time, that whole do or die situation.
Just every little thing counts. The little things add up, and we just have to really focus in big ball games, and we have to finish.
Anybody from TV?
Yes. Morgan, obviously the NCAA tournament, a lot of emphasis on guard play because you're the keepers of the ball. How important is it for you to play a solid game, not turn the ball over, and just keep the offense moving?
It's very important. Every possession counts. When you make a basket, like every possession, you know. Last year we lost a lot of possessions, so this year, you know, got to take care of the ball and hopefully get the victories.
Morgan, if you would pull that microphone a little bit. Roddy.
Morgan, last year you were in Jazz's shoes as far as being a freshman point guard and learning under somebody more experienced. What have you seen from her and her, I guess, progression as a point guard? And when she's healthy, outside of those injuries she's going through, what have you seen from her and her progression her freshman year?
She's a great ball player. She's just as fast as me. She takes the basket well, found open players. She feeds post players very well, like a mini me.
Logan?
Morgan, with such a big break between games from the SEC tournament till now, how has it helped your leg just to get a few days off and heal up a little bit more?
It's been good, but we're still been practicing. I feel like I've been practicing better, going harder, changing things that I need to change from watching film. So it's been good.
Any more questions for our student athletes? Okay, ladies, you're dismissed. Thank you. Good luck. Okay, Coach, questions for Coach? Rob?
Coach, same question about Jazz. I know she's kind of hit a snag with the concussion that she's kind of going through, but other than that, what have you seen from her in her first year? I know you've been pretty high on her and how she's kind of handled things.
Yeah, she's been great. She's going to be a great player. She's faster than, some days she's faster than Morgan. I've said Morgan's the fastest kid I've ever coached. So, you know, for Jazz, she's going through a lot of the same growing pains that Morgan went through last year. And just understanding the importance of making sure we get a good shot every possession, whether it's her getting it or her teammates. But just running the offense and making sure we don't turn it over. Sometimes I have to remind her and LaCaris, I just need vanilla. You know, I need a plain, you know, I don't need all the mustard and ketchup, you know. And so sometimes I just have to remind those two especially of that. And again, Jazz is really, really good. I knew this when I recruited her. She's really good in the open floor. She sees the floor exceptionally well. And I think our team runs just as well and some days better with her support.
Michael?
Vic, how did the term the People's Team come about?
Y'all haven't been listening to me. I've said that before now. I just think that, again, it's how we honor the game, how our kids honor the game, how they play the game. Like Dom said, their ability to communicate with our fans. We go up in the stands after ball games and sign the same autograph, take the same picture with the same people, you know, every 3-4 days, but yet we don't turn them down. We never say no. You know, we hug mamas, kiss babies, and vice versa. But I just think that in the way we play the game, the hard work, you know, the toughness, it's easy for parents who have young children, girls and boys alike, to identify with our kids and show their kids, hey, this is how you play the game. This is what playing hard, working hard, and doing the little things, this is how you're good. And for us, I think that's exactly who we are. And so I just think that, you know, I think that's why, again, I give that all the credit in the world why we're averaging 6,200 fans. It's because of our players, how they play the game.
David?
I know obviously Victoria means a lot to your offense and everything. At the beginning of games, when you see your team come out, would you rather her start hot, or would you rather the rest of the team start hot and then get her going, or does it really matter who starts, who finishes?
I just like to start hot. You know, I've said this before, I think when Victoria's playing well, I think you see our team relax and play well. And I think they feel a sense of calmness, so to speak. But we've had some of our highest scoring games with Victoria not scoring. You know, Arkansas, Vanderbilt in the SEC game, SEC tournament, you know, we scored 80, I think 81 against Arkansas, and scored quite a few against Vanderbilt, and she didn't play the entire fourth quarter. So we've had some games where if she was in foul trouble or struggling, we've scored a lot of points. So again, I think that goes to the chemistry and the balance that we have with our team. So.
Danny P?
What did it mean to you personally to have the mayor and the board of aldermen do what they did the other night?
is very, very humbling and a tremendous honor, Danny. I think it's so appropriate. Again, this community has embraced us, you know, in the 4 years that I've been here, and their support of our program, our team, my girls, has just been outstanding. I mean, Starkville, Mississippi, we're averaging 6,200 fans in the SEC, had 10,660 for a ball game, 7,000 and change for another. And this community has really embraced my girls, and I give my girls, again, all the credits, how they play the game, how they honor the game. It's the respect that they give our fans, the time that they spend with them. Again, their ability to communicate and willingness, you know. It's very, you know, in today's world, there's lots of kids that want to run straight to the locker room, grab their phone, want to get out as quick as they can, and our kids aren't like that. And they understand the importance of that relationship with our fans, you know. And so, again, it was just so honoring. It was such an honor to be there and to have that proclamation for our team. You know, it's quite an honor. And so, again, just appreciated their support and want them to know how much we appreciate theirs.
How much do you think that fan support will have when you're hosting here, and what kind of matchups do you see against Chattanooga?
Well, the 1:30 tip is a challenge on Friday afternoon. So it's you know, this is a hard-working community, and you know, it's hard to I know for some to get off work. I have sent out a permission note to miss work slip via Twitter. Anybody needs that, it's on there, and I'm sure it warrants serious consideration from any employer. But you know, that's the challenge I think we have for Friday for our early tips. But that goes on across the country. So as far as our matchups, you know, again, I have a great deal of respect for UT Chattanooga and for Coach Foster. I've known him a long time. He's a Hall of Fame coach. They do have tremendous players, tremendous guard play. I'm sure their five-player joiner will be a little bit motivated being back in her own state, and so, you know, it's a tremendous challenge and a tremendous matchup for us, and you know, we're going to have to really play well. You know, they do a lot of things that can affect you, and again, we're going to have to play really, really well in the ball game.
Jazz gave you some good minutes in the SEC tournament. Do you feel like she's back as far as physically?
Yeah.
Do you think she's ready to go?
Yeah, no question. Physically, she's good. I just got to keep her from busting her head on the floor. And it wouldn't be the first kid I've had to teach how to fall. I had a Kodak All-American and had to teach her. She took a charge about the third game of the year and had a concussion. And I got pulled aside by Coach Blair and said, if she's going to take a charge for you, you better teach her how to fall. So I may have to teach her how to fall.
Vic, how much did you see Joyner in high school? I know the timeline's kind of close for you getting here, but how much did you see her when she was here?
I don't know that I saw her a great deal,
Okay.
you know, to be honest. And certainly they've done a great job with her. She's a tremendous player and very skilled player and tough, competitive. And you have to be to play for Coach Foster. So, I mean, I think that speaks well for her. And obviously came from a very good high school program in the state. So, again, we'll have our hands full with her.
Adam?
I don't know if Schaefer's Grill will be open. I think you're going to be busy with other things, but just in terms of the eateries and the hospitality in the area here, how do you hope that people are going to take advantage of everything that's here to offer after the basketball game?
Well, it's a great community. It's a great city, and we obviously have some great restaurants and great food. It's unfortunate we've got a convention in town that took up 700 beds here locally, and so I was a little disheartened by that. But Mary Ann reminded me, even when we were at Duke last year, and I was talking to the coach of Michigan State, and she reminded me she was at North Carolina. We both traveled 25-30 minutes, you know, one way just to get back and forth at those locations a year ago. So it's not unusual at all, and certainly Columbus has a lot to offer from that standpoint as well. I think the disappointment is that it's hard to eat here when you're traveling back there to stay, and so you might miss some of that opportunity. But this is a a great community and a great city with so many good places to offer for these teams, and I hope, it's my hope that they'll be able to take advantage of that. But it's again, it's an honor to have them here.
Paul?
I know, going into this, you still got another practice to go, but can you see a difference between last year and this year in terms of preparation for everybody but the freshmen having been through it before?
Well, we're, every team's different, and this team certainly has its challenges. We're still the same young team I was 2 weeks ago, and on some days very, young is a nice word to put it, and so it's a challenge. And, the biggest challenge for me, and I don't know any way around it, is the time off between your last game in a conference tournament and playing the next game, which is going to be 12 days. It's such a challenge. Kids don't want to practice. Coaches are trying to recruit, practice, prepare, watch film. It's a really trying time, and so that's kind of been our challenge. But, last year's team had those 4 seniors, but they weren't very experienced in this area either. And so they weren't experienced at all in postseason other than the NIT the year before. So this team at least has been there for the most part, the sophomore, junior class, and Reese and seniors. So they do understand what tournament we're in. It has a different feel, I'm sure, just because you're at home somewhat. And so that's what I've been trying to impart on my group is that, yes, we're at home, but this is the NCAA tournament. We have earned the right to be here. This is, and the fact that we were honored with the host site, and we've got to go do our part. And that's my challenge with my fans. I want to show the country what everybody across the country has been talking about is how do you get 6,200 fans a game into the hump to watch women's basketball? How do you have 10,660? This is our moment to shine. And I want that as much as anything because I do think it's so special, so unique, and I'm so proud that we've been able to build that here in such a short period. That's part of, quote unquote, the program. It's not just about X's and O's. It's not just about wins and losses. It's that fan support, the fan base, the people that travel with us when we travel. All that goes into a program, and I want to show the country what we have here that's so unique and special.
TV, anybody? Adam?
Coach Merchant was asked if there's anything that the NCAA could do to reward, I don't know if reward is the right word, but when a team is seeded 4, to have that team get a chance to play either at home or closer to home. Do you think that there's anything that the NCAA can do maybe to extend the radius out to include other sites closer to where that team plays the majority of its home games to again, honor, I don't know if honor is the right word, but to give that 4 seed a chance to be a 4 seed?
I don't have that answer. Part of when we talked about it here early on, I'm talking about in that first year or two when maybe you can't see the NCAA tournament from where we started from. We talked about it as for me as a coach and to our administration, hey, we want to have that opportunity. When we're good enough, we want to make sure we can host and our facilities available. And, as far as the other, that's not within my realm or under, I really don't have anything to add to that or a comment other than for us, I want to make sure we do our part. And, it's not uncommon across just like today, we had this convention in our facility. It's not uncommon for these facilities to be multi-use. And so that's the piece that sometimes I'm sure is a challenge for a lot of folks.
Any more?
And any barbecue places that you would recommend to Coach Foster?
Well, there's Little Dewey in town is awfully good and for barbecue, and I'm not sure over in Columbus. I've not. I've eaten there a few times at some of the chain restaurants, but I know Little Dewey serves a pretty good barbecue plate here in town, and there's so many good places, that we have to offer here, and I'm hopeful that all the fans will have an opportunity to to experience those, because this is a great town, this is a great community, tremendous people, and obviously,